Intifada. It's a word referring to the violent uprisings by Palestinians against Israelis, costing thousands of lives. Surely a professor would never advocate for an American intifada, right? The answer may shock you. Hatem Bazian is an ethnic studies professor at UC Berkeley. Given the reputation the university has garnered for shutting down conservative speakers, you might expect the professor to be pro-Palestine and anti-Israel. But Bazian isn't merely voicing his opinion on the Israel-Palestine conflict. He is inciting violence. Take a look.
The only language that the slave master understands is the language of violence.
We've been watching intifada in Palestine, we've been watching an uprising in Iraq, and the question is that what are we doing? How come we don't have an intifada in this country?
The professor shared this meme reading, "Mom, look, I is chosen. I can now kill, rape, smuggle organs, and steal the land of Palestinians. Yay, Ashkenazi." The implication, of course, is that Jews, like Nazis, believe they can kill and commit other atrocities because they think they have the divine right to do so. On Tuesday, Bazian deleted the tweet of this completely unsubstantiated meme, apologizing and saying he did not realize or read the full text in detail before sharing it. Given his long history of harboring anti-Israel views, we're just a tad skeptical. The professor has also claimed that Zionists collaborated with the Nazis and pushed anti-Semitism.
There are a large number of Zionists who are engaged with Nazi Germany.
Zionism, rather than being defeating anti-Semitism, is actually accepted anti-Semitism as the norm.
Bazian shares American Muslims for Palestine, which was founded by some former members of a group that donated $12.4 million to Hamas. But it all makes sense when you look at the professor's own self-admitted goal.
At least part of the project that we're engaged in is to rewrite parts of history that we're concerned about.
You're probably wondering, how can one change what's already happened? But rewriting history doesn't seem so crazy to postmodernists, who distinguish between the past and history, which they define as the story told about the past. Historian Tom Dixon says social historians are often driven by activist goals. Historical research becomes not an attempt to understand the past, but a propaganda tool for use in modern political and social power. Postmodern cultural historians consider bias unavoidable in whole or even in part. One of postmodern scholar Michel Foucault's main arguments was that one fictions history on the basis of a political reality that makes it true. One fictions a politics not yet in existence on the basis of a historical truth. We see leftists using both of these mechanisms, holding the past to contemporary standards in order to conduct campaigns like the upheaval of Confederate statues, and in justifying modern-day systems like privilege hierarchies and affirmative action by invoking historical oppression. Now, you may ask, how much impact does one madman really have? Well, Bazian founded Students for Justice in Palestine, which boycotts and slanders Israel on campuses across the West. Here are some of the activists his group has spawned.
And let it be known that we here in Berkeley support the Intifada!
Intifada! Intifada! Long live the Intifada!
Intifada! Intifada!
Long live the Intifada! 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 Long live the Intifada!
Long live the Intifada!
Long live the Intifada! There is only one solution! Intifada revolution! Intifada revolution!
They're going to say it's the Palestinian being too radical. We haven't seen radicalism yet.
These are the leaders of tomorrow. But when they're uncritically swallowing and parroting left-wing talking points, they sound an awful lot like followers. And who are their leaders? Professors like Bazian who incite violence and demonstrate reckless disregard for the truth. For Campus Unmasked, I'm Rob Shimshock.